Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Rangers Radio. Firstly, I'd like to announce that Exler and probably Matchday last, so if you want to listen, you can either listen on Facebook, YouTube, or on site of the Rangers Radio player on the site page. How are we doing, Ibrox Loyal? Firstly, who's the team?
Yeah, it's West Connolly, Tavernier, Bates, Martin, John, Doherty, Ross, Indias, Windass, Murphy and Morales. That means no changes. We go with the same team that started last week's match against Hamilton. Substitutes: Jack Allenwick, Bruno Alves, Kenny Miller, Andy Halliday, Jason Hall, Eduardo Vieira and Jason Cummins.
Who only saw Alves on the bench for me as one of the subs. Who was on the bench last week? Who's he replaced?
I think Cardozo maybe.
Maybe Cardozo, he's replaced Cardozo. Alright, okay. As I said, the only surprise, I thought if Alves was going to be involved, he'd be playing. I didn't see him as a substitute. But I'm no surprised there's no many changes. I thought Holt might have come in. Personally, I'd have kept Doherty in the team and let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, no, definitely. Heard you say that last night, mate. I thought personally Holt would have come back in, but I said I wouldn't be too happy if Doherty started again. So fair play to the manager, he's stuck with consistency. So. Yep.
If people want to join us, they can join us in Skype today. Rangersradio.online. I believe that we've also got problems with the phone line, so there's technical problems today. So, what are you thinking, Ibrox?
I think maybe a 4-4-1-1, where it could also change to a 4-2-3-1 at times as well. That's what it says. You've got that interconnecting of the two formations that are pretty similar to go between.
We've been playing the same. We've been playing the same tactics now for a few weeks, mate. It's the two sitters, which is going to be Doherty and Goss, and then in front of them you've got the three midfield players, attacking players. 4-2-3-1. You know. So then you've got Murphy on the left, Candice on the right, and Windass in the middle of them, and at the head of them's Morales.
Yeah, no, I understand that, mate. I'm just saying that they are quite interconnectable, the two formations, so they could go between that and a 4-4-1-1. Without too much problems throughout the match. I'm just saying they can switch between them quite easily. Aye.
Who's the main players for you today then?
Me, definitely Murphy, because I've been really impressed with him. I'm actually seeing now what I was expecting. His first two games he was pretty defensive, but now we can see him in what his natural is as an attacker. And I would say Sean Goss as well, mate, for me.
Aye, Brooks. I just, I'm looking forward to the game and excited. I think this could be pivotal for our season, this match.
Oh, without a doubt, mate, without any shadow of a doubt. Just, we're back at Ibrox. I think the players are going to need to get it into their psyche that you can do it in a away match, you can do it at a home match. I know it's always more difficult because of the way the teams tend to sit in when they play at Ibrox, but I believe now the players have had going to have a few matches at Ibrox now. They can get into their rhythm and start at a very, very fast pace, mate. And I think we've took our chances, or we're starting to take our chances now. So if we get a couple of goals up very early on, mate, it could spell good things for the rest of the match. So,
Aye. I'm looking forward to it. I think if Sean Goss plays and influences the game, we win, mate.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. And if Goss plays well, then Murphy tends to play well. In a very attacking role, because he does have to concern himself getting back and helping DJ win history, but his main role is attacking, mate, and he's very skillful now when he's attacking, and we've seen last week that he can work well with Morales now, because the two of them can interconnect with each other as well. So
I think we might have been joined by Cairo. I'm not sure if he's sitting there. Afternoon, Cairo.
Hello, how you doing?
All right, Cairo, mate.
Are you surprised at the selection, or are you happy with that, mate?
Happy.
Aye.
Definitely happy, yeah. I think I'm quite happy with that. I think I agree with a lot of what Ibrox says there. I think the man for me is going to be Murphy. I said I watched him the last couple of weeks there. He's quietly come into that game really well. He's dominated the last couple of games for the large spells. I think if he can do that today, and Candias can do the same on the right hand side, working with Tavernier, that allows Goss to start dominating the passing side and doing that sort of thing. But it's all about work rate, I think, to be honest with you. If we can get
Matchday with that.
Pardon?
Matchday with the work rate, we should win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Windass coming back and running into the. I mean, what I've really been really happy when I've been looking at some of the game out again. A few of our attacks, we've had 4 and 5 players and then run about the box, which is something I've not seen for ages with Rangers. You usually get 1 or 2 players and somebody come in, but you look back at the last 2 or 3 games there, when we were in the attack and we were playing some of the moves with, when it wasn't the quick ones with your like a couple of goals you scored were good, absolutely fantastic football and breakaways. But when you look at some of the games where we've been playing about with the ball and then suddenly we do go into the box, we've had 4 and 5 players in there running about the box, and for me that's telling. It's saying we're beginning to get there. But I think that all comes into what rate. I think a pivotal point that's going to be Windass if he comes back and chases back. Candias, I think, is doing really well with Tavernier. But for me, it's the man that's really clicked is Murphy. If he starts to dominate and do the quiet, effective things that he's been doing, that just allows Goss to spray the ball about. So I don't know about Dockett.
Two intelligent players, Cairo, Goss and Murphy.
I think so. Yeah, I think Murphy,
you know what I mean?
And Goff's got a sweet left peg in him, and he can pick a pass out. So when you've got that sort of complementary skills between 2 or 3 players and the work rate like say Candias, and if we get Windass coming back, then that also makes so much. It'll make so much space for we Morelos up front and all. Because if you've got players running into the box, obviously folk have got to follow them up. And that opens up spaces, and I think that's where we'll start to see the best of Morelos. And if he's as good as what I think he is and what he thinks he is, then
only time will tell. Only time will tell. We've also been joined by Blue Shadow. How we doing, Blue?
No bad, mate. No bad. It's afternoon.
Hello, cheery face. How are you doing?
Oh,
how you doing, cheery?
Pass me the razor blades, Ibrox. These 2 are on.
Oh no! Together.
All right, BS.
I'd come on and add a bit of look. No, I'll come on and add a bit of levity.
Brilliant, happy self.
His initials are well matched. BS Cairo.
I wondered how long it would take for you to notice that once that's right.
What's your thinking, Blue Shadow?
I think basically the key area is going to be the centre of the park today, and we don't want to enter into playing their game, but we've got to sort of. I think Cairo brought up a good point about Windass. He's going to be key today. He's going to be both going forwards and in adding a bit of. If he comes back and adds a little bit extra in midfield, because they're going to flood the midfield. They're going to try and stop us that way, and I think it's important that the wingers, we feed the ball out to the wing. Don't play the old-fashioned way. That we used to play. Feed the ball out to the wings, down the wings, and get players into the box when we're attacking, because that's the only way we're going to get round them, as you can see. Yeah.
It looks as if Hearts will be setting up 3-5-2, Cairo. Oh, I lost you there, Cairo. Ibrox?
Aye, I am. I think it might be me there.
They might be setting up a 3-5-2.
Right, okay. I've not seen their starting lineup, mate, so I couldn't tell you.
Call yourself a journalist.
Part-time journalist, mate. Have you got a team there?
I've read it. I've forgot. It's in the brain, mate. They're lining up 3-5-2, mate. The boy Coffman's back, Aaron Hughes is back, so 3 centre backs sort of points to a 3-5-2 to me.
Oh, yeah, definitely then.
Yeah, Blue Shadow, 3-5-2 for them.
I can see 5 in the midfield. Only and they're going to play it on the break. That's why they've got the 2 up front. I mean, I haven't seen their team back, because you'd imagine it's 2 pacey lads, fairly pacey lads up the front, so they can break away quick, and they'll have to join them from midfield. So again, that's like I said, in midfield, we're going to have to watch out for that. Yep.
I'm looking forward to the game, Blue Shadow. I'm looking forward to it.
Always have looked forward to that. It usually ends up producing quite a good game, Usually we've got, as long as our lads work hard and put in the effort, and then our quality tells, and we just edge it. And for me, it's a long time. Along with the games against the Sheep, they've always produced some of the best games in the Premiership for me.
Fair comment, mate. Fair comment. Particularly in the old days at Tynecastle, you'd maybe great tussles rather than. Usually we used to, but most of the time we used to win at Ibrox,
Most of the time we used to win at Ibrox, I'd say, but they were always right, especially they were always right up for the game at Tynecastle. But they were hard games, but they were always fair games as well in the old days. And there used to be some quite enjoyable hostelries near Tynecastle as well.
Yes, we used to be welcomed with open arms when we went there, Blue Shadow.
I used to go to, I remember a place just up round the corner, I think it was Angle Park Terrace, it was called the Athletic Arms, was called the Diggers, and they served a fine beverage in there.
Yeah,
and it's full of both sets of fans.
Many a good day at Tynecastle. Ibrox.
Yes, mate.
Yeah, people will be thinking, Alves no playing on the bench. What's your thinking on that? Are you happy with that?
I'm on, mate, because I don't think... I kind of agree with what a few of the boys were saying last night. You could have maybe took out Russell Martin because he never did his greatest game in the Rangers jersey last week, and you could have brought Alves back in. But I think it was Rudy Bear that says he prefers to have a settled back two, and that's what Bates and Martin have turned into recently. So I said last night as well, mate, I've seen players come into a match after being 2 months out of injury and coming back in, and then something goes wrong for them, and then that's when the abuse and that starts flowing. So I think it's only right that Alves comes back. He settles for a place in the bench. Touch wood, nothing happens to any of our centre backs. But if it was to, then you've got a more reliable pair of hands there in Bruno Alves. And if he does come on, I hope he shows us what we thought we were going to get from him, which we've not actually really seen yet. So.
Mm-hmm. Blue Shadow, was that the decision you would have made?
Exactly the decision I would have called last night, mate. The sort of, I'm a great believer that a centre-back pairing is just that, it's a pairing, and it takes a bit of time for them to get to know each other's play, you know, who's going to go for the ball, who's going to cover, and in what situation that's going to happen, etc., etc. And I think if you just bring Alves straight back in, you know, all right, although we haven't seen it, he is a quality centre-back. And he might bring it on, but he's not really developed. He's not had an extended period of game time to develop a relationship with any of the centre backs yet, and I think that's what he's got to do for me.
It's been a stop-start season for Bruno Alves,
Yeah, it's totally wrecked any chance we had of getting some continuity at the back. And since Martin's come in, and although he's not been fantastic, he's still been terrible generally. He's made a couple of bad mistakes, but then he's been out for a long time, so we have to make allowances, you know. A wee bit. It's difficult, but
I've just been PM'd Ibrox to ask what's the percentage of matches that Bruno Alves has played in, but we'll leave that to Monday, mate.
I'm just trying to work out one. It's going to be a difficult one.
There's a shower of bees in that lobby, isn't there, Blue Shadow?
Oh, I know. Some of the people, they heckle terribly from the lobby, you know. It's absolutely
that's all right, mate.
It's on good
humour, mate. It's on good humour.
It's not something I do myself, like.
No,
not at all, Blue Shadow, mate. I would never accuse you of that, mate.
There must be two Blue Shadows then.
Oh, goodness, I couldn't kiss. Somebody hacked my account, have they? My God.
Is Cairo back with us?
Aye.
Aye, sorry, mate. Aye. The Alves, is that what you'd have done, Cairo, personally?
Nah. I don't think Alves has done anything for us, to be honest.
Right. He's not played great, mate. Let's be honest about it. We've got to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had him, mate, unless he's wanted it for the training and that.
Let's hope his attitude's improved. I mean, the rumour mill has it that he wasn't even pleased with the situation under Pedro. You know, he thought he was a bit. So injuries, we can't blame anybody for getting injuries. Somebody's calf popping against the Celtic. That's just part and parcel of the game. It can happen to anybody. Obviously, the older you get, these things seem to happen on a more regular basis. But look, if he can come in at the right time of the season and drive his own, it could be it could be he ends up being an important signing.
Well, I don't know. I think if you show the graph between expectation and delivery, it's huge. And between now and the end of the year, I can't see him even. I don't see him ever closing. I don't think it's Hearts in it, to be honest. This is the music.
I've not got any music.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Not here. I've had my mic on mute anyway.
All right.
I can when I speak to you, I can usually hear Ruby. Don't please playing your Love to Town in the background, but I just don't. I thought that was a normal. And
That's old hat. That's old hat. That's way back in Bridges' day. Yeah, I'm away. I'm with the Kaiser Chiefs.
Oh, are you?
Oh, Ruby.
Can you name all the Kaiser Chiefs?
No, I couldn't name you one Kaiser Chiefs. I wouldn't want to name the Kaiser Chiefs. I only know one of their songs, and it's a good one.
Well.
There's loads of them.
Aye.
I could only name one of them.
Quite apt in your house, mate, eh?
Well, apt's an interesting term.
Yes. Let's just say quite apt sometimes.
Aptitude's always a good thing. Anyway, how are you feeling about the game of the day?
I'm looking forward to it, mate. But I'll tell you, I'm going to come back to you with that one bit because we've been joined by Aussie. Afternoon, Aussie. Or good morning.
There you go, mate.
Good morning to you.
Morning.
Morning, mate. What's your thoughts on the team, mate, and how do you see the match going, mate?
3 changes on the bench. Nothing else. I hope it's an open flowing game so we can score a few goals.
The big question is, will we?
Well, we've got the strike power to score goals.
Can we keep them out of the other end as well?
Well, that's the other question, isn't it? That's the hard one to answer. I hope so. I mean, last week the 2 goals that Hamilton scored last week. I mean, I know they scored 3, but the third one wasn't really a penalty. The other 2, yeah, the defence didn't look too good for that one. So hopefully they've been doing some homework in training.
Working hard. Is that the team you would have picked, Aussie?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have started Bruno. I wouldn't have. I can understand why he's on the bench. Holt for Doherty, maybe.
Yeah, that's where the talking points have been, really. I think most of the team picks itself. Go back to Cairo's point. I'm really looking forward to the game, Cairo. But there's a few times this season I've been looking forward to games against Hibs and Hearts at Ibrox and maybe St Johnstone and Hamilton at Ibrox. I think these are good. Win this and we've got a springboard and it's not happened, so hopefully it can happen this time. Blue Shadow, your thoughts on the game?
I think that Doherty is going to be one of the guys that's got a key part to play in this game. He's going to have to show a fair bit of discipline because he's one that we're relying on to win the ball basically. So I think we're going to have to. He's got, as I said, it's a lot of responsibility to place on young shoulders. So I hope the lad can come up to it.
Yeah. Ibrox Lion.
As I said, mate, really looking forward to it. Now that I've seen the Hearts team, I believe that Morella, El Buffalo, should I say, is going to get tongue-tied there, and Murphy should really be trying to get at the boy Hughes. He just came back from a long injury layoff, mate. He's back in, and I think that might disrupt their back line because I've used to been playing with the two, Suter and Bear. I know they two are still playing, but I believe that the bringing 3 in at the back could really disrupt him, and I think El Buffalo and Murphy should be getting at they two quite easily, and just that would be where we in, I would think.
All right, mate. If you don't mind going on mute, we can hear just briefly for your manager, giving his thoughts on his team selection. So let's hear from your manager, Graham Murty.
Graham, you go unchanged this afternoon. Was that a hard decision given the many fantastic options you've got on the bench today?
It was, because we've got people coming back to fitness, we've got people pushing for places, and there's certain elements we need to improve at, but I thought that some of our play last week was really, really good, and I'd like to keep those guys in that positive mode, and I think that we have a nice balance of people on the bench to change if necessary.
You've built up some good momentum recently. Is that the idea behind keeping the side the same as well?
I think people need to earn the shirt, and I think the guys who've played at the moment and the guys who are playing today, they've done enough to stay in the shirt. But as I've said always, it's not just about the 11 that play, it's about the whole squad. We need people to contribute, whether they're starting, whether they're on the bench, whether they're in the stand. They need to make this environment better, they need to make the team better, and thankfully we've got some good guys in there that understand that everyone's going to be needed by the end of the season, and it's an opportunity today to have a look at the squad and try something today, and hopefully it works.
What have you made of Hearts recently in the threat they'll pose today?
I think they're very organised, they're very structured, they're very difficult to break down, and looking at their team today, I think they'll be set up to do that and then counter quickly, so we have to be aware of that, but we have to go and take the game to them. We have to move the ball fast, we have to pull their shape apart, and then we have to get our skilled people, our skill players in position to go and hurt them in 1v1 situations or in open play. And if we can do that, then we can have a positive afternoon.
If it's that sort of game where the opposition side are sitting in, do you need the crowd to be patient?
We do. We need the crowd to be patient, but we also need the players to be patient, to understand that it might not be as quick and as open, as free-flowing as it was last week, but still understand the areas that we need to get into, how we're going to try and cause them problems. And it's not as though Hearts have to come here and put on a show. They have to just be responsible for their manager's instructions and go and be difficult to beat. I think they will be, but we have more than enough quality, I feel, to go and give them problems and actually get ourselves a positive result. And if we do go and put them on the back foot a little bit, they may need to open up a little bit and leave more spaces for us. So that would be a good thing.
Thanks for that. Old school. Cairo, he's right, mate, but when he says on the front foot, the thing that will drag them out is if we score goals, mate.
I agree with you totally. I think that's the case. I think it's the guys, as I say, it's a movement and it's a work rate and supporting each other. And if we can give Goss the protection that he needs to start spraying the boys about and move about, then they'll get dragged about, and that gives us opportunity. We might not need to. We've been playing, as we've been saying for the last 2 years, man. We've been playing very, very predictable. Do you not think we're playing a little less predictable now?
Speeding the team pace gives you problems. All of a sudden, we can Diaz and Murphy. Obviously, Morales isn't a slouch, and then Windass, Breton. You've got pace in your teammate, and that means that you can do different things.
You've got Murphy shooting from outside the box. You've got Goss shooting from outside the box. You've got Windass shooting from outside the box. So the guys are having to come out to them and all. It creates that wee bit of space. Whereas before, when this pass back, you could stand their ground. They could just stand there, wait to go in and
have a fag. Someone could stand, have a fag, and then make a tackle.
That's right.
You know.
So I give you totally in that one as well. So yeah, I think what rate's the key today in supporting all the guys we need to support.
All right, Blue Shadow. Carol says you pass the ball, you move them, you score, you work hard, you score goals. That's what changes games. Goals change games, huh?
No, goals totally change the game. If we can get a goal early, I would say within the first 20 minutes or so, it settles down the crowd and stops the boys getting on the players' backs. And two, it means that they're going to have to cut. They know then they're going to have to come out and score, and that creates more space and it allows the players to pass our boys to pass through them easier and hopefully get another one or two. I can't see us conceding the day, but hopefully we a bit like the Hamilton game. I just hope we score more than they do.
You're here, mate. You're here. Did you enjoy that? The small words for Mr. Murty Ibrox. He's saying all the right things, He's saying all the right things,
I always enjoy press conferences, mate, because he just gets more and more impressive every time I hear him. He says how about the fans have to be a wee bit patient. We will get the openings, but it's not always going to be at the rate that it was against Hamilton. And I kind of agree with what Blue Shadow just says there. As long as we score one more goal than them, I think today as well, we could maybe see, hopefully, a wee clean sheet for our goalkeeper. I know he's not a clean sheet in a few games, but you always see him, it usually goes like 2 or 3 games that he'll maybe concede a few goals, but then he'll always come up with a clean sheet when it is needed. And I think today is that day. And if that happens, I believe that we are going to score a few goals today. And if he keeps his clean sheet, then we'll get the win. That's what we're all looking for. And we'll roll on to the following games after that and take each game at a time, mate, one step at a time. That's the way it's always been, and we have to show it this time. So
yeah, fair comment.
I do take exception a wee bit to what he said about don't expect it to be the same as the Hamilton game type of thing. For what rate, for application, for getting there and doing what they're asked to do, I think we can expect Rangers should be doing that all the time. No, that doesn't always happen. And I know that sometimes they're a road player off and something doesn't quite work. But I'd expect
when you're having a bad day, Cairo, you should still be at that level. You should still have to put in a shift.
All the other things should all be there. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, I just take a wee bit kind of a hang with the fact that I don't expect it to be the same. I expect the work rate to be the same. I expect the application to be the same. And if it's just not happening for you, then it can't all be every player all doing it at the same time, because that just doesn't happen. It just seems to happen to your team too often. That's all. You know, they're either playing brilliant and then the second half they come out and do nothing, or vice versa. They play a great one game and then the next game they're out in the flat. So that's the bit that worries me, and that's the bit I'm saying that, you know, I do expect that. If they're playing hard and they're playing really well and they're hitting posts or they're doing this or they're doing that and they maybe just scrape a 1-0 win or get a draw, honestly, can you grumble? You can grumble you didn't win, but you can't grumble about the players not doing what they should be doing. And that's what all we've been doing this last wee while, up to the last couple of months, or the last 6 or 8 weeks, is the players haven't been doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now they're starting to get there. Then I can still expect to see that application, the work rate, the want to play. I mean, another thing I know, and somebody said it the other night, I think, as well. Look at when they score a goal now. Everybody's got that wee laugh in their face, that wee bit cheer. You know, everybody's happy for each other, happy for the team, happy for each other. Whereas before they were scoring goals and they were walking away, and a couple of them weren't even going to celebrate.
Are you saying there was no team spirit in there under the previous manager? Is that the point you're making, Cairo? Come on, say it.
I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it. Apart from any team spirit, there was no team anything. It was all individuals. So that sort of a playing for each other, that running off the ball for each other, running and helping each other. Aye, that's probably what it all boils down to be honest. Team spirit's is sort of the conjuncted word that you could use to say.
It's a big factor in it. You don't have, bizarrely, you don't have to get on with guys you play with, but the spirit's got to be there when you go in the park. Yeah?
Absolutely, aye. And you can. The other thing about it is if you're working hard and your guys, even though as you say they don't like you, that kind of thing, you'll tell you what, you'll get respect after the guys because you're helping them. So they'll reciprocate. If you're a player that's in, how many teams have you played in who you get a guy comes in and thinks he's fucking Johnny Big Boys? I must admit there were the odd occasion where you put the ball just a wee bit in front of him, or a wee bit ahead of him, just to say, fuck's sake, start doing something. You're not getting the ball on a plate all the time.
Aye.
Of course. He was told more forcefully that more than once as well.
Right, I'm not playing the guy with you again.
Cairo was the captain.
But you were the goalie. We had to put the ball in front of you.
We had to put the ball in front of you. Every time we put it behind you, ended up in the net.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted it different for you.
Oh, yeah.
No, seriously. I mean, when you think of the way we're playing, did you see the couple of goals that we scored the other night there, and you seen the players? I mean, they were all genuinely. You could see they were all genuinely happy for each other. Did any of the rest of you see that? Or is it just me thinking that?
You could see a team spirit. Look at Rangers supporters in there. We're scoring good goals. I mean, the goal against Partick Thistle and the goal was scored against Hamilton. I know the opposition's no top draw, but they were wonderful team goals.
Yeah.
Bo Shadow, you want to come in with that?
I think you've got the team spirit. One thing is one thing, but it's also a belief in what you're doing. You're working towards a plan which everybody believes in. Which I think under the previous manager, there was quite a lot of the squad didn't believe in what they were working towards. They were just doing it because, well, I've got to do it.
Well, you heard what Wilson says in one of his press conferences. He said No, he didn't rate Cassini what he was doing, and he didn't really understand what he'd done. He just went through the motions, basically. The Celtic game, I think it was, he said his tactics were terrible. So if you get players going out there thinking that, what chance have you got to them playing to try and win it? No, they'll give their all, but they don't care. It's like working on a treadmill, isn't it? You're doing running on a treadmill and you don't know what's happening. You get tired quick. But if you're working today something, it's you know why it's happening, and you know when you get to a point where it's done, then you'll get there quicker.
It's like when you're working a job and you're working your backside off, and you're the only one that knows what you're doing, and the rest of just a bunch of jokers. It's like, end of the day, you say, "Oh, to hell with this, I'll go and work somewhere else."
Yeah. Yep, agree.
And you'll not keep putting in. You might go in there way effort, and you might go in with the right attitude. But if the tactics aren't working dramatically, or the other team's no buying into it, you end up chalking it as well, Cairo.
You'll do your best under the circumstances, won't you? But I think when you've got good players and you've got a purpose, and what you're trying to do within a framework and within a sphere of influence and within a sort of a game plan, every now and again you get a chance to do something different that the opposition didn't understand, or they're not expecting. They're the wee moments, and they're the bits that really good players make a difference. They're still playing within the boundaries of what they're asked to do. They're still playing in within the formations and everything else. But they're the players that make the difference, because they do the thing that's different within that structure that other players don't expect. They're really good players. And I think if you don't know what it is you're supposed to be doing in the first place, how can you do those special things? Because you don't know who you're trying to get to, so you're doing it through the motions. So even good players get brought down to a level as well then, because they're not allowed to express that wee bit innovation they've got that takes you a different direction to get to the same end, if you know what I mean. So I think, all in all, I think when you see the way Rangers are playing now, I think they know how they want to play. I think Murty's got them all playing in a sort of a direction that they all understand, and a way that they all understand. I think he's got them set up in a fair shape. I think does everybody. What do you think about the balance of the team? I think the balance of the team in the last 3 or 4 games has been much, much better.
I think that I've come to Aussie to that one. I think that's what's happened with that is all of a sudden we've got a guy who's comfortable playing that left-sided role, i.e. Jamie Murphy. We've not got somebody shoehorned in there. Aussie.
Aye. I mean, we've got players that are willing to put in that extra 1% for each other, and that's what's pushing us forward and making us more of a team. And that's what we've needed. I mean, if we had started the season with that, like that, we could be in front of them this time, and we'd be looking
just imagine the season where I had Aussie with a leader. That if the manager wasn't doing it, he could have done it on the park and maybe impressed them on the park what he wanted them to do. It might be within the bounds of the game, but it'd be somebody else. We didn't have a leader in the park either. I think we've a couple of players there now that kind of have an idea how we want to play, and they're pushing that forward as well. And the other players are responding to that. I mean, the guy that I've criticised quite heavily, I think, has been Windass. He's not got a football brain. He's an instinctive player. He knows how to run into a space going forward. But ask him to play in a position where he's got to run back and help and watch this and watch that guy. I don't think he's got that in him. Therefore, you need players that have got that intelligence round about them that have got that. And I think we're starting to see that now with Murphy and with Goss. Candias certainly has it in aces. And I think possibly if either or whoever's playing in that sort of other central holding position, they'll have it as well. Then that allows Windass to have the wee lapses, but you get the benefit of what you want off him going forward. And I think that's the difference with Windass that we've seen these last 3 or 4 games as well, to be honest with you.
Blue Shadow?
I agree.
I think the big difference with Windass is with all due respect to the lad, he's come across as the brightest lad in the known universe, which is especially on that chicken and hen question that he keeps showing the other day. But he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's got to do. So it's basically, unfortunately, it's kind of like just let him get on with it. But we've got players like Murphy and Candeas, and like for example, Murphy could play is playing left wing, but there's no reason that the pair of them can't swap sides, and that asks a question of the opposition, because they don't know what they're going to do next, whether they're going to drive deeper and perhaps put crosses across then when they're up on more when they're opposite wing, or when they're on their own wings, they're more liable to cut in and let loose with shots, preferably towards the top right hand corner. So that's going to be quite interesting to see. The only slight worry I have is if any of those, particularly Candeas and Murphy, get a knock or whatnot, who we've got on the bench that's going to replace them.
We've not really got any natural width on the bench. Ibrox Loyal?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We've talked about it earlier in the show as well. I'm seeing partnerships now all over the park recently. You've got Candeas and Tavernier that's been working for most of the season. You've got now Murphy in, who's helping out DJ. You've got the Buffalo and Murphy starting to link up. They're saying, I can set you up, you can set me up, we can interconnect through our passes. You've got Goss who can take a wonderful set piece, whether that's a dead ball or a cross coming for deep, or as I think Bridgman says last night, he takes one of the best corners that he's seen for anybody taking a Rangers corner in many seasons. So I think all in all, mate, we are starting to link, we are starting to gel. You can see the players are a lot more happier because they're under a manager who will give them the structure that they need to go out and perform in that park. And Mr. Murty is saying that in a lot of his press conferences. The only thing I'm really here today for is to give the players the roles and the responsibilities to go out that park and play to the best of their abilities.
Here,
and I
mate.
think that works well. So. Here,
mate. Anyway, we've reached that time of the afternoon. We'll have a shout out and we'll go to first Aussie Jer.
Big shout out to Sir Walter.
Because he buffed it today, innit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hope we get a nice win for him, and hopefully we've shaken off the schizophrenia that we had before.
Cheers, mate. Good to speak to you as always. Cairo?
Shout out, did you say?
Yes.
A shout out. I had somebody in mind for a shout out, and I can't mind who it is. Come back to me. I'll think about it again. I had somebody in mind there.
All right, we'll come back to you. Blue Shadow?
A big shout out, particularly to Josh Windus today. Come on, son, we need a big match out here today. Plenty of heart and a bit of skill, and I can see us coming away with 3 points today, no problem.
Ibrox Loyal?
Aye, just big shout out to the squad. Get us to 3 points today and get it for Sir Walter as well. Happy birthday, Mr. Smith.
Cairo?
Forgot about it. So I'll just get to the usual, to the fans and all the guys that are gone today. Enjoy your day. Hope you have a fantastic day. Wish I were with you. Unfortunately, I can't be because of other things, but I'll tell you what, please enjoy your day. And for fuck's sake, Rangers, don't make a Groundhog Day. Let's have a right good day today. Play some decent football, give the fans something to cheer about.
Can I put in just a quick one?
Of course, when you go.
It's a shout out, Bridgeman. I'm glad you're back at the game today, mate. I hope you have an absolute cracker.
Here, well shouted, mate, well shouted. The Bridge, he'll be there. There'll be the people running about him. I'll be glad to see him. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle to talk about today's game. I've only one thing to say. Come on, the Rangers. Take it away, old school boy.